What happened while we were away, brought to you by Play Groomer Games, win Groomer prizes. The Florida Senate yesterday passed a measure that would strip the Walt Disney Corporation of its special self-governing status in and around Walt Disney World in Florida. The move comes after Governor Ron DeSantis issued an order calling for debate of the measure during a special legislative session. The measure will now move on to the Florida House. This is how you win. This, on the other hand, is how you lose. This is National Review's Charles Cook, who said in a tweet, quote, DeSantis and the legislature pushed through a sensible education bill and then stared down Disney's ridiculous, hysterical criticisms. They fought, they won. There's no need for them to salt the earth, take revenge, or make Florida's policies worse. Former Trump attorney Jenna Ellis chimed in as well, saying, Charles Cook is right. Imagine if Newsom was doing this to Chick-fil-A. Policy and law must be fair and reasonable, not vengeful. Disney's stock price has dipped 20% this year, with almost 10% of that dip occurring in the last month. Checking in on MSNBC, here's former George W. Bush advisor Matthew Dowd.
In the Easter holidays, the entire message of the Gospels of the Easter holidays was love one another. And I have said this before, and I'll say it again. If Jesus Christ was alive today, he would be called a groomer, he would be called woke, and he would be called a socialist.
Elsewhere on MSNBC, here's Nicole Wallace.
And I worry that in covering Glenn Youngkin and his politics of parental choice, all the focus was on how well it worked. And even in our conversations about DeSantis, it's about how well they're serving him. The truth is, dehumanization as a tactic for politics is from war. Dehumanization is a tactic. It's being used right now. The Russians get their soldiers to rape children by dehumanizing them.
Back to Florida, the Department of Health there absolutely smacked the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services after that agency released a so-called fact sheet for guidance in treating gender dysphoria for children. The Florida Department of Health, in their own fact sheet, strongly contradicted the DHS, saying gender transition should not be a treatment option for children or adolescents. Those under the age of 18 should not be given puberty blockers, and gender reassignment surgery should never be a treatment option for children. Instead, Florida is recommending family and children seek counseling from a licensed provider. Jen Psaki, your thoughts?
I'm gonna get emotional about this issue because it's horrible. But you know, it's like kids who are bullied, and like all these leaders are taking steps to hurt them and hurt their lives and hurt their families. And you look at some of these laws in these states, and it is going after parents who are in loving relationships who have kids. It's completely outrageous.
Joe Biden, your thoughts? Moving on, Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is having a normal one.
Across the street, we had a police officer on duty, the victim of a hit and run. We have Michigan Avenue, the Magnificent Miles, now referred to as the Mile of Fear. The water tower place has thrown the keys back to the lender. They say they don't want to be in Chicago anymore. Real Chicagoans are asking me, how could you possibly even consider running for re-election as mayor of the city of Chicago after all the harm you've caused?
Well, I disagree with you fundamentally, and I don't think I need to address and dignify your comments 1 second.
Donald Trump did an interview with Piers Morgan for reasons only Allah knows, in a promotion for the interview airing on Piers Morgan's new show. Trump appears to storm off the set after a series of questions regarding January 6th, 2021.
Excuse me.
The most explosive interview of the year.
I don't think you're real. I'm not like very dishonest. Let's finish up the interview.
Morgan versus
Turn
Trump.
the camera off. Very dishonest.
Audio of the interview was produced by the Trump camp, which showed an otherwise friendly interview where Trump did not actually storm off the set, apparently. And finally, tomorrow is Earth Day. That means it's time to reset a Steve Day show tradition unlike any other.
Deep in the woods of North Carolina, an extremist eco group called Earth First bewails the violation of American nature.
belongs of all the old growth trees I've seen, and tell them that we love them and that we don't want them to die, that there are some people here who do care. So I want you to know that, trees, that we care.
I think we are deeply hurting in America. I think we are deeply craving answers. I think that we've lost our identity as we have evolved into technology and into industrialized society. Bring me to this cathedral. Bring me to those guys. Bring me to this rock that has the most incredible life. That makes me feel alive.
I've looked at clear cuts and burnt forest, and I've felt outraged, but I didn't scream and I didn't cry. And I need to.
And that's what happened? Well, we were obeyed.